or a rebellion was crushed, it was crushed severely to make an example out of them. And this is exactly what happened to Guru Tegh Bahadur, the 9th Guru of the Sikhs. Every Sikh you talk to, mention the word Aurangzeb, they will know him. Have you had this experience? Yes? Yes or no? Yes? Every Sikh, for example, like the Shia, every Shia person you talk to, they will know the name Yazid, yes? Yes or no? Yes? Yazid, Muawiyah, yes? They know these names because they see them as arch enemies of the Ahlul Bayt. Likewise, when you speak to a Sikh person, when you mention Aurangzeb, Aurangzeb is Yazid to the Sikhs, or Fir'aun to the Sikhs, because he killed the 9th Guru, and the 10th Guru was also fought by the Mughal armies, and 2 of his sons died in war, and the Sikhs blame Aurangzeb Alamgir directly because he was the emperor and the governor of Sirhind, who was the governor. His name was Wazir Khan. But if you look at the other side of the coin, from the Mughal perspective, the king was simply crushing rebellions. Tegh Bahadur, the 9th Guru of the Sikhs, was devastating the Punjab. He was devastating villages. He was devastating the countryside. He was creating chaos. He was killing people, including Muslims, in many of the Punjabi villages. And the Sikh version goes that he was fighting for the rights of the Kashmiri Pandits because they were being forced into Islam, and the Guru Tegh Bahadur stood up for their rights, and that's why he was killed. But that's not the truth. The truth historically, actually that stuff is very difficult to establish. These are narratives created very late by the Sikhs. Later on, almost a century later, these stories were made up and they were made popular. Like, the stories of Karbala. Have you ever been to? They were having between each other. We don't have those details from authentic sources. Likewise, the Sikhs have these stories, these narratives, that the grandmother was talking to the grandsons in this way, and they said this and they said that, and the details are so many that anyone thinking, hold on a second, can this story be true? Where did the details come from? What is the source? And when you dig deeper, the source is not there. It doesn't reach the actual person it is attributed to. So Aurangzeb is maligned by the Sikhs for this reason, but he was doing the job of a king. He was doing exactly what was required of him. Punjab was his region. He governed it. He had to maintain peace on the roads so people are not being robbed like the Sikhs were doing. Later on, Sikh rebellions, they took such an intense form that the Sikhs were robbing, burning, pillaging Muslim villages at will. There was a Sikh rebel called Banda Singh Bahadur who was eventually killed by an emperor later on called Farrukh Siyar. He was ravaging the Muslim villages and Muslim regions.
Okay, so what I'm doing now is that this is a little bit more serious, so I'm not going to be joking around too much. The reason being, and I will do my one name, but this is about Adnan Rashid. And I'm going to say Adnan Rashid and not his other name that I call him, because I want to actually do a very serious debate with Adnan Rashid. When he comes back from Australia, he was shook, and he went to Australia to get away from Raj as far as he could go. And the thing is that exactly 2 years ago, from today, actually from next week, it would have been the first time I went to speak to Suna, and it was the first debate I had with Adnan Rashid. And weirdly, I want to now do another debate with Adnan Rashid about Modine's coming in now, he's going to ruin it. Big up. Yeah, so, I saw you harassing Joe Cena again.
Yeah, I was.
Right, I need to do a little piece of thingy, man. I'm going to talk to you later, we've got something good going on. Yeah, so basically, when it comes to Adnan Rashid, we know that he does have links to known extremists like Abu Qasim, which is one of the camera guys. that he's associated with and been filming it for 2 years. When you look back at the videos of myself, you will see Abu Qasim's in nearly every video when I was with Adnan Rashid. And he's in nearly all the videos. If you look through his page as well, a lot of them are Adnan Rashid and Masood of them are. What I want to do now is that Adnan Rashid gave a talk, because that's a separate topic, because we now know 100% that the video with him with Sheikh Faisal, we've had it voice recognition done in it, and I won't say by who, and they have verified it's him. If you want to do another independent one, we can do that if you've got nothing to hide. So what I want to talk about on a more serious note is going to be a claim that Adnan Rashid made around 6 months ago. So it's got nothing to do with this. I just saw the video recently because people were sending me videos about Adnan Rashid and stuff. And the claim was about Aurangzeb. Now I do normally spit on the floor when I say Aurangzeb, but I'm trying to be polite today. Now when it comes to Aurangzeb, if people don't know who this is, over India's 800-year Islamic kind of period where India was ruled by different Islamic dynasties from the 10th until the 18th century or 19th century. There were a lot of kind of emperors and a lot of kings and stuff like that in India. Now, when it comes to big up man like Reggie, big up man like Reggie, man like Reggie. Yeah, so basically what Christian brothers do. Basically, what's happening is that Adnan Rashid is what you call, he says he's an historian. He's not an historian, he's an Islamic revisionist. Anything to do with Islam, he will revise the history to suit his Islamic narrative. So when I first come to Speaker's Corner, one of the first conversations I had with Adnan Rashid was about the Indian Holocaust of India over the 800-year period. And I made the claim that in India, over 400 million people were killed by the Islamic conquest over 800 years. Now, that was an inflated figure that I'd heard at the time. I would say it's closer to between 80 to 150 million. Now, people were still like Adnan Rashid. When I asked him about this around 6 or 7 months ago, he said not even 1 million were killed over the 800 years, which is a disgrace. Because saying it's not even 1 million is literally saying that all of the people that died within India, they were all lying. Now, one of the biggest slanders that Adnan Rashid has made over the last couple of weeks that I didn't see was that he said the 9th Guru of the Sikhs, Guru Tegh Bahadur. So, to my Sikh brothers, you may not like me. You may think I'm a disgrace. You may think that, you know, what I'm doing is bad or what I'm doing is not right. But what Adnan Rashid said about the 9th Guru needs to be challenged. Now, I might not be the right person to do it, but if anyone wants to come down and challenge this narrative, because Adnan Rashid said in a lecture, and if you go to my channel, Raj Speaker's Corner, you can see him saying it, that the reason why Guru Tegh Bahadur, the 9th Guru, was executed, because he was executed in, I think, 1675, thereabouts. I apologize if I made a mistake. And he was executed because he was defending the rights of the Kashmiri Hindus. So he's called the Shield of India now. But what Adnan Rashid has said is that he was executed by Aurangzeb because he killed people and he was ravaging North India and he was stealing and thieving. Now this is a real big claim to make, because I've not heard this before from anybody who has said that Guru Tegh Bahadur was a murderer and somebody that was going around North India ravaging the country. Now, I want Adnan Rashid to prove these points to me. And when I have a debate, this is the open challenge debate to Adnan Rashid now. Yeah? The next time you come down, I will try my best to do it, but if any Sikh brothers want to come down and help me, then let's talk to them, because he's also said in this recording, and I've got the proof, but I can't play it right now, I don't want to give him a copyright strike. He also said in the recording that Guru Gobind Singh's 2 younger sons, Baba Zorawar and Fateh Singh, who were bricked up alive in 1704 by Wazir Khan, who was the governor of Punjab and Sindh, on the kind of like, it was under Aurangzeb's rule, that this individual, yeah, who executed the 2 boys for not converting to Islam, it never happened. So he is denying not only the fact that Guru Tegh Bahadur was not executed because of him trying to defend Hindus' religious freedom, he's also saying that Tote Sahibzade, Baba Zorawar and Fateh Singh were not even executed. There's no proof for it. So what he's trying to say is that even though Zafarnama, which was written by Guru Gobind Singh Ji, I can't explain too much, but it was a letter that the 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, had written to Aurangzeb. And he's saying that's false as well then. He's basically saying the Sikh history that we know and believe to be true is fake. So he can have that opinion, that's fine. But what I want to do is to show that Adnan Rashid is not a true historian, but he's a revisionist of Indian history. The reason the points I'll prove is that obviously he's already lied about the Sikh aspect, but he's also lied about Aurangzeb. Now, whether you like the Indian history, over 800 years of Islamic conquest of India, there were some good rulers, there were some bad. It was a mixed bag. Some of them were basically would have been seen as kuffars today. Like Aurangzeb saw his brother as a kuffar. Aurangzeb saw his father basically as a kuffar as well. The individual that built the Taj Mahal. So, or he might have seen, but what Adnan Rashid is propagating, he's saying that one of the worst tyrants in Indian history, Aurangzeb, who is to us, the Hindus and the Sikhs, the Hitler of India, was actually just a good Muslim. Yeah? He said he was just a good Muslim. Now, you may hear me say, I'm paying that bullshit, Jizzy, you're mad. And I say it more in an aggressive manner normally, but I'm trying to be sensible. There is a historical context to this jizya. It's not just about me not bending the knee and saying sorry. In India, in 1777, thereabouts, the jizya tax, which was revoked for 100 years under more moderate rulership, was reinstated. It was reinstated in India, and one of the people that was being subjugated was actually the Hindu Kashmiri Pandits in Kashmir that we now know is predominantly Muslim, but at the time it was more mixed. So with Guru Tegh Bahadur, the 9th Guru, he was an individual that believed in religious freedom. So the Hindu Pandits went over to him and said to him, can you help us? So Guru Tegh Bahadur went to Aurangzeb, who is obviously a very, very orthodox Muslim. I would say he was like an ISIS on steroids of his day. Like he saw most Muslims as kuffar, including Shias, Sufis, moderate Muslims. He would have seen them and he would have had them on a chopping block as well. So Adnan Rashid says he's a good Muslim. I need to ask why he thinks he's a good Muslim. So with Guru Tegh Bahadur, he went over and confronted Aurangzeb, and Aurangzeb, you know, basically didn't want to kind of like capitulate to what you were saying, because Guru Tegh Bahadur wanted him to give the Hindu Pandits their religious freedom to be Hindu, but they were trying to convert them. So Guru Tegh Bahadur then gave the challenge that if you can convert me, then the Hindus will convert. So they tortured him. Sorry, yeah, they tortured him and then they executed him. And now, if I made a mistake, I'm sorry to my Sikh brothers, because I'm not the most knowledgeable, so I will prefer to come down that can support me on this topic, because it's a very, very kind of slanderous claim that Adnan Rashid has been making in his lectures, saying that Guru Tegh Bahadur wasn't executed for the religious freedoms of the Kashmiri Pandits and isn't the shield of India. That's what his nickname is. That's the honour they gave him. But he was a thief, a murderer, and somebody that went around North India ravaging the country, which is why Aurangzeb executed him. Yeah? So this is a real, what I call kind of revising history to sort Adnan Rashid's warped version of history. Now I'm going to say this, that I want to do the debate civilly. So this is not me going around doing what I'm going to do. Adnan Rashid, me, and maybe one other person from my side that I can bring that has more historical knowledge on the exact dates and kind of literature will come down and talk to you in a civil manner. We can have 2 minutes each and we can rebut each other, and if you've got the proof that you say is evident to you, then okay. But we at least should have a chance to rebut what you're saying. Yeah, and so when you come back, I don't know when you're going to come back. I know you're hiding at the moment in Australia, because obviously your cameraman has been found out to be Abu Chowdhury, Anjum Chowdhury, an ISIS supporter, and also we now know the recording of you in 2003 with Sheikh Faisal, who was convicted and sent to prison for hate speech. Was something that he was in a video with supporting, saying he supported him in court in 2003 before he was actually convicted. So yeah, I'm going to leave it now and pick up. So basically, that's pretty much it. I want to keep it quite simple. So you want to do that, I hope you will give us a chance to actually just give our point of view, and then you can do that. And I promise it will be civil as long as everybody else is civil. Anyway, big up to the football we do run.
Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, 10 minutes as well.